Hello gentlemen, we are in Chapter 4 now. Powerful presentation aids. It is an established principle of psychology that people learn far more when information is presented through more than one sense. Tell listeners something and they will remember some of it. Tell and show listeners and they will remember much more. Audiences enjoy eye-catching, colorful visual aids, and interesting ear-catching audio aids. Audio and visual aids enhance a presentation by helping the audience to understand and remember your information more easily. With the advancement of technology, presenters have been using more and more visual aids in their presentations in order to enhance the overall audience experience and create a great visual presentation. Whether your presentation is in person or instead of virtual presentation, the objective is always the same. Get your key messaging across with minimal miscommunication. Getting your key message across to your audience members can be done with the help of effective presentation aids. Now, let's look at some guidelines for using presentation aids effectively. Visual and audio aids should have a specific purpose. They should explain, clarify, illustrate, or summarize information from your speech. It should be clear to both you and your audience why you are using a particular speech aid at a particular place in your presentation. Visual aids should be large enough for everyone to see. Confirm the visibility of your visual aids by viewing them from the back of the room. If you see them clearly, so will your audience. Audio aids should be loud and distinct enough for everyone to hear. Listeners should not have to strain to hear recordings or sound effects, nor should they feel compelled to cover their ears due to an uncomfortably loud audio aid. Fourthly, keep charts, maps and graphs very simple and uncluttered. Don't try to show too many details in one visual aid. Less is more. Be sure to look at your audience, not at your aids. The trick is to maintain eye contact with your listeners while explaining and displaying your visuals. Remember, do not talk to your aid. Talk to the listeners. Cover all visual aids you are not using and put them away after you have finished showing them. For example, if you are starting to speak about the Temple of Heaven in Beijing, don't leave up a picture of the Great Wall of China from an earlier section of point number 7. Never pass out objects, photos, or papers during your speech. If the audience is looking at objects or reading papers, they will not be listening to you. Practice your presentation while using your presentation aids before you deliver this speech. Become familiar with your aids by practicing when, where, and how you will use them. Finally, ask an assistant to handle your presentation aids so that you can concentrate on your audience while you are speaking. Be sure to arrange this with a classmate before the... Now let's briefly look at the types of presentation aids. Presentation aids can be broadly divided into 3 different groups or categories. Number 1, no tech, secondly low tech, and the last one is high tech. Now let's discuss one by one. No tech involves no technology here. It's just some stuff written or drawn on paper. For example, some diagrams, graphs like pie charts, line graphs, or any graph or chart or maps or photographs used as aids. All these come under non-tech. Here everything is on paper, in black and white, and as I said, no technology is involved here. The second group involves a little bit of technology, probably some old technology. It can be an overhead projector with transparencies, films, and using audios. The last most popular category is the high-tech aids. Presentation of this popular mode involves a lot of technology. Examples like images, video clips, audio clips come under high-tech stuff. So to use this high-tech stuff, we need a little bit of software knowledge, like PowerPoint, Google Slides and so. These aids are used with the help of digital devices, day of your speech. So let's go with the last one with high-tech stuff to be online with the current trend now. How do we design great PowerPoint slides? Great PowerPoint slides involve 3 different things. Number 1, the context. Context here means the mixing of the text and the art. Both should always go together in perfect coordination. And then comes the color of the program and finally the font. The font, I mean the type and size of the font. So these 3 things have to be in perfect harmony to bring out great PowerPoint slides. Text and art are the most common elements of presentation slides. Don't fill up a slide with too much text. Use a maximum of 20 words on a slide. If you have a lot of information, divide it among 2 or more slides. One way to simplify text is to create keywords and easy-to-remember phrases. Look at the 2 slides here. Which one of them is catchy and attractive? So when you make slides, make sure that the slides are prepared carefully so that they don't lose the audience's attention. Clip art, pictures, and photographs can greatly enhance your message. Art can be entertaining or humorous. Just don't overdo it. Use a maximum of 3 pieces of art per slide and keep illustration simple. This sample slide shows the combination of text and clip art. Notice the short phrases and simple illustrations. Any slide has to be very colorful. Choose one color for the background of your slide, one color for titles, and one color for the text. Be consistent and use the same color combinations for all the slides in your presentation. For background color, select a dark color, for example black or dark blue. Your dark background color tones down the brightness of the projector light and focuses your audience's attention on the content of the slide. For title and text color, select light colors that contrast well against a dark background. Shades of yellow or white show up best. Avoid using blues, greens, or reds for text or titles as they won't show up well. Font type and size. Use popular fonts like Times New Roman, Bookman Old Style, or MS Reference Serif. Regarding the size, you can use 36 to 46 points for titles and 24 plus points for the text. Make slide titles and main headings a minimum of 36 points. Subheadings should be a bit smaller than main headings and larger than text. Text should be a minimum of 24 points in size. Use a combination of upper and lower case letters. Text that is set all in capital letters is difficult to read, so that brings this lesson to a close. Now, prepare your presentation and practice well before you present it to class. You need to prepare well and practice until you get satisfied and confident. As the saying goes, for a perfect delivery, practice, practice, and practice. All the best, gentlemen. Bye and see you next time with another interesting lesson.